What's good, everybody? We are live. It is Shoot Your Shot, the podcast. You getting the two Joes today. Vic's out sick, so hopefully he'll get better. We don't think it's the Rona. We pray and hope it's not the Rona. We think it's just a little cold. So hopefully he gets through that and he'll be back. We didn't fire him. There's no Rory and Maul shit going on here. But he still didn't let us see the book, so I don't know.
Yeah, if he don't let us see the books, then we might just have to do a Rory and Mal.
So
that's what's up.
Yeah, we had a lot of
listening, tuning in.
Yeah,
get better.
hopefully, check again as always. Check the YouTube, check the Twitch, check the Facebook, check the IG. We're going to be much more active on those platforms. We're actually already pretty active on the Facebook. I've been trying to do a lot more posting and shit talking to get people ready for the episodes. You can always email us, shootyourshotpodcast@gmail.com. If there's anything y'all want us to talk about, throw it in the chats, throw it wherever, send us messages. We will talk about it if it is sports related, and even if it's not, maybe we got some shit we'll talk about. So I want to get it. I want to get it done real early. I just want to.
Oh shit!
Get it right here. Get it right here.
Congratulations,
champions of Europe, Chelsea FC. I bleed blue.
Chelsea winning the championship this Saturday.
Yes, 1-0. I already know you didn't get a chance to watch the game, but you watched some highlights, and from what I could tell, you weren't impressed.
No, I was at work, so I couldn't really watch the game. But I watched the highlights. It was about 1 minute and 30 seconds worth. But no, it's good, man. It's what soccer is about. It's about defense and preventing the team from scoring. Even though you would enjoy, 4 or 5 goals, but that's mainly not what soccer is about. And the stronger your defense is, the better it is. So, it was an appreciated game to watch, and I'm just happy Chelsea was able to, score the goal and win the game.
Our team specifically, especially under our new coach, we switched coaches at the midway point of the year. We have Frank Lampard in there, who was, a legendary player for Chelsea. I'm pretty sure he's our lead goal scorer of all time. He was our coach. He had a good season last year with nothing and a transfer ban. This year, we spent a lot of money this year on big players: Kai Havertz, Timo Werner, Hakeem Ziyech. Spent a lot of money on those 3, so there was a lot of pressure. I think in January we were in 10th place in the Premier League, which for Chelsea is not acceptable. So we let him go and hired the new coach, Thomas Tuchel, who at the time I knew absolutely nothing about. I'm not even going to lie. Ex-PSG coach. He got PSG to the Champions League final last year and lost. So that was a good sign. Did I think that he was going to get us to where we ended up, which top 4 in the Premier League, which is a big deal. And winning the Champions League is even bigger deal. For me, like I told y'all, this is my Super Bowl. I was amped up. My homies came through. We went to the Brew House in Atlanta. Shout out to the Brew House. It was packed in there.
That's what's up.
Yeah, and it was overall. There's a few environments like soccer fan environments. People were chanting, people were yelling. There was a good mix between Chelsea fans, Man City fans. It was super dope. When Kai Havertz scored that goal, man, that place erupted. It felt like in the beginning of the game there was more City fans, but when he scored that goal, the Chelsea fans, we showed out, and then we almost scored another 1-2 goals. Christian Pulisic, the American, he almost scored a goal when he came in. If he would have scored a goal, I think we would have blew the top off that building. But to me, the biggest thing was our defense. Antonio Rudiger had some huge stops right in front of the goal. Mendy, our keeper, had some good saves. Azpilicueta had a game-saving stop. So to me, those were the biggest plays of the game. There's some question marks on the collision between Kevin De Bruyne and Rudiger. Kevin De Bruyne actually, I think they said he broke his nose and his left orbital on the
Wow.
tackle. I mean, you could see he was hurt. I mean, he was crying. He immediately had a big black eye. He was crying walking off the pitch, but he saw fuck him anyway. But you don't wish injury on anybody. He had to come off. Thiago Silva on our side, who has by far been our best defender all year, he came off early with a knee injury. I believe it was a knee injury. And that was real scary for me at first because he's been the anchor of our defense all season. But we held on 1-0. You know, to me as a soccer fan, it's a little bit different. To me, a 1-0 game, 1-1 game, when it's coming down to the line, there's nothing better in sports because that one goal either way is changing the game. So, you know, Man City had their chances. You know, they either, you know, didn't take advantage or, you know, we stopped them in big moments. So it was a huge, exciting game. I'm not gonna lie, the night before, I'm not a praying man, but I prayed the night before to all the old and the new gods, for all my Game of Thrones fans out there who know what I'm talking about. That I said the Knicks could lose the series. Just get me this Champions League win, and I won't complain about whatever the Knicks are doing. And whatever God stepped up, He gave me that win. So for me, I'm happy. I'm happy for the rest of the summer.
Yeah, so you're the reason the Knicks are losing. The plot thickens. Knicks fans, all Knicks fans out there, this is the reason why your Knicks are fighting for their lives right now. And,
I'll take the blame.
And he's a Knicks fan, so he traded in. He made that deal with the devil to trade in the Knicks series for this championship. So he got that championship, which means the Knicks are bye-bye.
Hey, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. I have dedication to all my squads, but sometimes I know I'm not going to get it all at once. So I'll take the one over the other in this scenario. It's still early we're still rebuilding. Like we talked about, nobody had the Knicks even in this position, fighting for their lives. So I can't complain even if we lose to the sorry ass Hawks in the first round. I can't complain because we wasn't supposed to be here. So I'm pleased with that. But that was my little rant on soccer. Anybody else out there that want to talk soccer, y'all hit me up. You know, my one homie that came, he knew nothing about soccer. He just came for the environment. He was asking me questions all game. He's like, man, I hope I'm not talking too much. I was like, man, I will talk soccer to whoever want to listen because I don't get that opportunity much. So I'll take my little 10 minutes here to blow that up and talk that out. And, you know, I'm still smiling. Like, I'm still excited. I think you said the other day, I got to keep the energy up because it's been like 3-4 days, man. I've been waking up with a pep in my step every day.
We need that. We need to branch out and reach those people that love this sport. So it ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, they want to tune in. They want to hear some soccer. There ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, we talk everything except WNBA. Now, I'm kidding. It's a joke. We'll talk WNBA if that's what you guys want. We'll talk that.
So I'll wrap it up real quick. For most soccer leagues are done and over with. I believe MLS is still going on. So if you want to catch any soccer, MLS is still going on. And I believe that the Euros will be starting this month. So that'll be big, and I'll have a lot to talk about with that because the Euros is a big deal. So we'll talk. We'll get that in when it starts. I believe it starts in the middle of June. Let me look it up real quick. But while I'm doing, it starts the 11th. So that'll be real dope. I'm gonna try to get y'all to. There's gonna be games all day, every day for a month. So if I got to get y'all to watch at least a game or two.
Hey, again, I don't mind watching. You know, even though it's not my cup of tea right now. You know, you never know. You know, there was a time where, you know, I wasn't into certain sports, and now I love it. You know what I'm saying? I had to get into tennis. I had to learn tennis. You know, and now I'm a huge fan. You know what I'm saying? I'll watch a tennis match and without a problem. So, swing it my way, man. I'm ready.
And tennis is dope.
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
love
tennis gets enough
tennis.
credit.
Yeah, yeah, and I've been watching it for a long time now. So, I don't mind watching a game. So, same thing with soccer. If you guys want to, send me some links and let me see some shit, I don't mind. I really don't mind. And the one thing about soccer is it's kind of like baseball. Baseball may, people watch baseball and be like, oh, it's zip zip, it's boring. I'm like, listen, ain't nothing like a good pitcher's duel. And it ain't nothing
Hmm.
like a slugfest. Like you get the best of both worlds. So it's like as soccer is the same thing. It could be zip zip, but it could be great defense. And if great defense is being played, I can appreciate that as well.
Yeah, and the great thing about baseball and soccer, you can only score one at a time. You know, I know baseball. Technically, somebody hit it, you could score one or two, but that one person, that one, that's one point. There's not that
Right,
miracle
right,
three,
right,
four
right,
point shot. There's not that, there's not the Hail Mary touchdown that could save it all for you. Like
right, right,
you got
right.
if you down, you got to come back 1 point at a time.
The
If you
time,
up,
yeah,
you got to stop them from that 1 point at a time because
yeah,
a 2-0 game in soccer might seem like it's insurmountable, but one goal to the bad side and it's another game because
right.
all
So
it takes is one more and then you tie it up and now what do you do?
you basically playing for your life. Everything is playing for your life.
Yeah. So
You know,
there's definitely parallels and another thing that with baseball and soccer, it's played all over the world.
right,
You
right,
know,
right.
so there's a reason people all over the world watch these sports. There's a reason that they have such a fan base that they have. I guess would now be a good time announcing my official baseball team.
Uh-oh. Yeah, let the people know.
So, and people who know me know I don't. I've never been a big fan of baseball. Um, I can't even remember a time other than like the '90s Yankees where I even paid attention to baseball. Um, but for y'all, for the people, because I know I'm gonna have to talk baseball at some point here. I decided I was gonna pick a team, so I decided to go with the rival squad that Joe's had over there, the Atlanta Braves. That's where I live. That's where I'm at. It's the hometown. It's the easiest to follow. Acuna Jr. is a monster, so we're gonna see.
And with that note, I'm gonna inform you that one of your players are fucked already. Marcell Ozuna. He just
Oh
posted
yeah,
a $20,000 bail bond to get out.
it's not looking good for him though.
Yeah, he was arrested. I don't know if you guys know he was arrested over the weekend for a domestic dispute with his wife. They're saying that he choked her and slammed her and did a few other things. So if all this
Yeah,
is true, he could be finished in Atlanta and MLB. You never know. So,
yeah.
um,
Uh, yeah, I mean, it's very unfortunate that that's still happening in sports, and
yeah,
from a few,
period. Like,
yeah,
period. Like, if you gotta get to a point where you gotta beat your girl up, then it's like, bruh, get out of that situation, man. It ain't worth it. You ain't winning. So
yeah,
even if
and
you win the
they
fight,
said
you're
that
not
this
winning
is
the
not the
battle.
first time that that's happened between them.
No,
So
actually,
it's
she
like,
was arrested a couple of years ago for hitting him and doing something to him. So they have a little history of going back and forth with domestic violence. So, I think
clearly is
it's
a
just
toxic relationship.
right, right, and I think it's just time for them to go their separate ways. And you know, it may be too late. He should have been went his separate way. But some people got to learn the hard way, and he's definitely gonna learn this way.
Yeah, he gonna lose it all.
Yeah, yeah, he
He gonna lose
definitely
it all.
is.
The only thing
Definitely
that's gonna
is.
save him, if there's any saving grace, which I doubt, is there's no video evidence.
Well,
Uh,
actually, the police arrived on the scene while his door was open and witnessed some of the stuff. So,
he's done. He's done.
yeah, yeah. So it's pretty much what they saw, and he say, she say. But 9 times out of 10, if the cop says he witnessed this and saw this, then that's usually what the truth is, and that's usually what they're gonna believe. So if the cop's saying that they saw a lot, then he's pretty much finished.
Well, there's really not much else you can say. I mean, his career is probably over. You hope that he, gets some counseling and figures it out, because it's kind of like, it's no different. This is getting a little off what we talk about, but it's kind of like with these police, killing people. I'm tired of hearing of this shit. I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to hear about dudes in sports or any dude beating women. Let's get a grip on that.
Well, these are things that's been going on for too long for it to end tomorrow.
Right.
I mean, you would love to see it come to an end, but it's just something that keeps the world going. And then, the violence in domestic works both ways. So it's like, yeah, the man can stop hitting the woman, but is the woman going to stop hitting the man? And not saying it's a justifiable reason, but, it goes hand in hand. Like,
oh yeah,
there's only but so much, some men going to take before they, respond. So, I just think all levels of domestic dispute and domestic violence should come to an end, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. Just like
all parties got to take accountability.
Yeah, just like police brutality, I don't see it coming to an end. It's something that this country was brought up on. It's been going on since law enforcement. People don't understand how law enforcement came into play in the first place. The whole main objective of them was to violently do things, and it's just not possible to take that out of their learning, their learning habits. So, I don't think it'll end. I would love to see it, be a minimum and not see it so often and so blatant. But I don't think them days are coming, man. We might as well just close our eyes or turn our heads, because it's not gonna happen.
Well, we got to stay hopeful that something happens, but that's a whole nother podcast. So
right.
We'll get to it right now. We got NBA playoffs, which we've been talking about. I'm kind of surprised with how a couple of these series have transpired. But we'll start with the Blazers and the Nuggets. They are the second game tonight. They play at 9:00. They're tied up 2-2. So game 5. How you see this game going?
It's been a seesaw battle the whole series. It's like, just when you think,
and we kind of predicted this. We all kind of said this was going to be
it was going to be
a
back and forth type thing. And just when you think one team has the edge, the next game they come out flat. They don't do it. I'm kind of surprised Portland is having this much trouble due to Denver not having Jamal Murray. That's a key factor. That's a key player on that team.
Their second best player.
Right. And a legit scorer that can match Damian Lillard bucket for bucket. So to have that missing from your team, and I just don't understand why Portland is having so much trouble with this team. Simply because they really don't play lockdown defense. They don't really know how to play defense. So tonight is going to be another back and forth. Denver might blow them out and win by 15, 16, but then the next game, Portland may do the same. So I don't know. Tonight I'm a roll of dice, because I kind of want to see Portland do a little better. I'm going to roll a dice and pick Portland, but I don't know if it's going to happen. So I'm kind of question mark, but if I had to, choose one, I'm going to go with Portland.
Yeah, I'm going Portland too. This is a big game because whoever wins this game, the pressure's on the other team. And Denver, with the team that they've had, these past 2-3 years, have kind of folded when the pressure got put on them. They don't have that guy who can take over the game down the stretch like Portland has. Dame time is a thing. I mean, he comes in the clutch moments when he has to, and Jokic, as great as he is, he doesn't have any moments like that. I can't think of any buzzer beaters or he took over and scored 15 in the fourth quarter. He doesn't have any of those moments where, I mean, Dame has built his career on doing just that. So I think Dame pulls it out for Portland tonight, and I think they eventually win the series. Maybe next game, because again, I don't know if Denver steps up when the pressure is really put on them.
Okay,
but it could easily go the other way if Denver wins tonight. How does Portland respond? It is so back and forth and wishy-washy. It's kind of, to me, so far, it's been the best series just because you don't know what's going to happen. With all these other series, you might be able to say, well, if this happens, this will happen. Like with Chris Paul. If Chris Paul plays and he's not hurt, they win, which they did yesterday. You can say, this way or that way with a lot of these series. This one is like, I don't know what's going to happen.
No, you really don't.
It's been by far the most entertaining series of the first round, in my opinion.
Right. Definitely true. Definitely agree on that. And if Portland does win tonight, I do see them, closing it out at home. So, hopefully they will win tonight, because I want to see them challenge the next team, and I just don't see Denver putting much fight into the next series. If they get past Portland, then it's like, they basically not going to have what it takes to face these guys in round two.
I'll say this: they will not beat Portland. They will survive Portland.
Right. And then if they just so happen to make it to the next round, I think the Lakers or the Suns, whoever they play, will have an easier time with them. So I'd rather see Portland, because Portland will give the Lakers or the Suns a bigger challenge than Denver would at this point.
Yeah. So that brings us to the third game of the night, 10 p.m. TNT, Lakers versus Suns. Another tie, 2-2. Chris Paul looked like he was all the way back. I didn't see him being hurt at all last game. Now the injury question mark is Anthony Davis. Have you seen any new news whether he's going to play or not?
He's not going to play.
He's not playing.
With that injury, there's no way you can be good in a day. If he does play, he's committing suicide. If you do play, you have a risk of hurting it even more and obviously killing, the rest of your season. So he's not going to play. And now all the pressure's on LeBron and the Lakers right now. I mean, even as the 7th seed, you usually don't get this where a 7th seed has the chance to win or are the favorites, but the Lakers were that. The Lakers were the favorites to win this series, and now the pressure's on, and it's not just LeBron, it's that supporting cast, The pressure's on Schroeder, who's working for a contract. The pressure's on Harrell, who talked a lot of trash in the beginning of the series and
has barely played.
Playoffs, and has barely played. The pressure's on Drummond. He's going to be fighting for a contract as well. The pressure's on Kuzma. Is he that player? Like, what is he? What you're going to get from him? So the pressure's on these guys, Do I see them defeating the pressure? No, I really don't. And you can see that even games 2 and 3, Davis' best games, it's not like the Lakers won by a landslide. Like, the Lakers just won those games. And you're talking about a healthy Davis with a not so healthy Chris Paul. So just imagine if Chris Paul was completely healthy and Davis was completely healthy. It wouldn't be like Lakers by a landslide. So this Phoenix team is a lot better than what people think, and is a lot better than what people may believe. So I see the Lakers not overcoming this. The Davis injury just really knocked them out, and I think Phoenix wins the next 2 games and close this series out 4-2.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it just feels like it's another excuse for LeBron. Oh, AD went out, so he didn't have a chance.
Well,
I feel it coming already.
Listen, the only way I can give him that excuse is if he have big games. If he has a big game tonight and they lose, and he has a big game 6 and they lose, then yeah, I could see that as an excuse. But if you look at the series, he hasn't been playing good. This is like his worst playoff series of his career. He's averaging like 21 points a game. He's shooting under 50%. He's turning the ball over more than anything. Like, he's shooting terrible from the free throw line. He's shooting bad from 3-point range. Like, listen, it's a lot of people out there that thought he can beat Father Time, and Father Time is showing that
undefeated.
He's undefeated. Like, this is why he's undefeated. You can't beat him because he keeps going no matter how much you try to go. He's 1 step, 2 steps ahead of you. And this is like one of the worst playoff series that LeBron is playing in his career. So if he goes out there tonight and has a monster game and they still lose, then I could say, all right, cool. With Anthony Davis, then they probably would have won. And if he goes out there game 6 and do the same thing, then it's like, all right, yeah, maybe things would have probably been different if Davis would have been there. But still in all, you're not playing well. And I can't take that as an excuse if you go out there and lay another egg tonight. So if he does that, if he goes out there and put up trash numbers and he doesn't take over the game and do what he normally can do, then no, I'm not buying that excuse.
Yeah. Here's the thing, and it's who we got here?
We got a surprise special guest in here.
It's a new Lakers fan or what?
Say go Nets.
Go Nets. She said Mets. Go Mets.
Nets.
Oh, I thought you said go Mets.
It's Knicks. Go Knicks. I hear it. Go Knicks.
We hate the Mets.
Good start. She looking like, who the hell are these people?
Yeah.
That's what's up. Welcome to the show, Vic.
Say thank you. Daddy feels like crap.
Welcome to the show, little Vic.
Oh yes, she with that.
Yeah, right. She looking happy. That's what's up. All right, so our co-host is here.
Hi guys.
Was feeling a little under the weather.
Still do.
He's here to prove that it's not COVID, and COVID isn't here to take him out. So,
No, it's not COVID.
That's good. That's good. Because nowadays nobody can get anything but that.
Yeah.
If you even sneeze wrong, it's COVID. It ain't
not COVID. It's chlamydia. Got a bad case of chlamydia.
Oh my goodness, that's even worse. Get off.
That's worse.
Get out of here. Chlamydia's you can go to transmit that shit. Oh man. All right, so we talking Lakers Suns tonight. What's going on? Who you got?
I haven't been able to keep up with the injury report on Anthony Davis. Is he playing?
He's out.
He's not going to play tonight.
He's out. Based on what I saw with Chris Paul last game, Chris Paul looked really good. So I'm assuming Chris Paul is going to get healthy and healthier. I'm going Phoenix. The way Ayton is bullying Drummond is impressing me. I'm impressed. I'm highly impressed by DeAndre. I don't know if he's playing for a contract. I don't know if he's playing for a contract, but he's showing Drummond. Yeah, you're not the only big man out here.
Well, he was a number 1 pick, right? He was a high pick. Yeah, he was a high pick.
I don't think he was the number 1 pick.
Let me see.
I'll check that out.
I want to say he was 2 or 3. I could be wrong, but I
Oh
think
no, you're right. He was the first pick.
He was the
Oh.
number one pick.
Yeah, he was.
So he needed to do that.
Doncic and Trey and them came.
Yeah, he needed to do that because as a number one pick, you only got so long to do nothing, before people start to call you out. And this is his first opportunity, and he's taking advantage.
Yeah, he's bullying.
Granted, Chris Paul is pulling the strings, but he still got to show up.
And he has one more year under contract, so I'm pretty sure if he does great this playoff series and beyond, they're gonna give him an extension before he hits free agency. So,
yep.
He could be fighting or he could be playing for that extension right now.
So the one thing that I wanted to say about this LeBron situation, this is a first for him. This is the first time he has not been healthy for the better part of the season, and he's coming back fighting through an injury. We've never seen him have to do this before. And I think that has a lot to do with, like how you were saying, he hasn't had the greatest series. Not that it's an excuse someone like him should be able to do that. But this is a first for him. I mean, this is the most serious injury he's ever had and missed the most time he's ever missed.
Well, this is why Father Time is undefeated. Like, as you see, he was able to go 14, 15 years straight without any serious injuries, without even getting hurt. Then LeBron acted up a couple of 2-3 years ago, and he missed the end of the season. He tried to come back. The Lakers wasn't in contention, so he ended up wrapping up the season, and he missed the most games of his career. Last year, you don't know how things would have worked out if we would have never had a bubble. If we would have had to play 82 straight, you don't know if he would have been able to play 82 straight. So the bubble, allowing him to get 2 to 3 months rest in between, was able to help him and propel him to that title. Now this year, you got the same thing. There was no bubble. There was no stoppage in between, And I just looked at it like this is why Father Time is undefeated. When you try to go blow for blow with him, he'll show you why he's undefeated, and you'll lose at the end of the day. So what this is just time and age catching up to him. He's 36. You in year 18. What you really thought you was going to be in cruise control for another 3 to 4 years until your son gets in the league. Everybody want to see him play with his son. Like, that's not going to happen, man. Wrap it up and get out the way before you seriously get hurt. And you have to get forced out. You don't want that. You don't want to get forced out.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, you can be health-wise, you can be great for years. But once that injury bug hit, especially the older you get,
it takes is one thing.
It could just stack. I
mean, and what makes it worse is these are all lower body injuries. These are not, shoulder, elbow, hand, finger, something you can possibly play through and ignore. This is all lift. This is all speed. This is all running. This is all starting and stopping. So it's going to affect everything. It's going to affect you on defense. It's going to affect your jump shot. It's going to affect everything. And I don't know, man. I just feel like, just get out the way, man, before things really get serious.
I mean, I agree, but I don't think it's in him. I think he's gonna hold on as long as he can. He's gonna ring chase at the end, however many he needs to get more than Jordan and whatever. He's gonna try to do that.
Jordan.
What does that do, though? Getting more than Jordan does what? It doesn't do anything.
Nothing. Like, honestly, at this point, he's not passing. Like, he's not passing Jordan. The only people that feel he could pass Jordan is LeBron fans. And honestly, like, there's nothing he can do to surpass Jordan. The argument is done. Like, it's over with. You might as well just. That's another reason why I'm saying stop. Like, you want to catch all these statistics. You want to be the all-time leading scorer and the all-time leader in this and the all-time leader in that. And it's like, bro, you look worse and worse every year trying to stat pad and add this to your list. And it's just not working. You're not getting there, man. Like, just wrap it up. It's over, bro. You know, like, you gotta know when it's enough is enough. I'm good. Let me hang it up. Let me chill. Because, like I said, man, you don't want to come down wrong. You don't want to get hit wrong. You don't want to suffer that injury that's gonna force you out. You want to go out on your own terms. And this is what happens when a lot of people try to fight for all the time. They get put. Look at Kobe Bryant.
I was just about to say, Kobe. I mean,
look at Kobe Bryant.
And Kobe was way mentally stronger than LeBron will ever be, and he didn't even get to get on his own terms.
On top of that, he battled a lot more injuries throughout his career than LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And until that one injury came, took him out. The Achilles went out. He couldn't bounce back from that. He didn't have the same lift. He didn't have the same speed. The start and stop couldn't be the same. He decided, you know what, man? That's it for me. Let me try not to keep this going. And I think that's what LeBron needs to think about this offseason. Think about that and make sure that next season is your last season. Because if you try to keep going after next year, it might look ugly for you.
Keep going.
All right. I know why Vic saying keep going, though.
Keep going.
If I was there, I wouldn't take Vic advice because I know why Vic is saying
keep going.
Because, it's something a lot of people would love to see. They would love to see him fall flat on his face and get forced out the league and look like a bum or look terrible. And it's like, listen, as much as I talk shit about LeBron, at one point I was a huge LeBron fan. If people don't believe me, I could pull up Facebook posts that I made 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that I was really like on this guy's side. And as time went along, things just happened. And it's like, I get it. And as much shit as I talk about him, he is a great player. He is an all-time great. But the more you stick around, it's kind of like Shaq when he was going to Phoenix and Boston and all these teams. It's like, bro,
ring chasing,
it up, man. Like, hang it up. Like, I can't get it. No, I'm not feeling it no more. So
I don't think LeBron a ring chase. I think he has too much integrity to ring chase. I think LeBron's a pretty smart dude. I think he knows when it's actually time to hang it up. I don't think he's gonna be like Shaq and join all these teams. Me personally, I don't see that.
But he's
already done that. His whole career,
he's not gonna ring chase and join those teams. He's gonna hang around and hope people join him to help him win a title. That's the difference. Like, Shaq went to these teams to try to help them and try to win another title. Honestly, I don't know why, because he wasn't winning with Boston. He wasn't a winning team, and he wasn't going to win in Phoenix. So those are two teams that I don't know why he went to. But as far as LeBron go, he wouldn't try to join like Kevin Durant and them, and he wouldn't try to join Phoenix or Boston. He would try to stay in LA and get guys like Bradley Beal, Davis, whoever else to join him to help him win another title. And no, even if he does that, it's still going to look corny. It's going to look just as corny.
Yeah, you say that, and people who watch the game with clear eyes know that. But the LeBron stands, the LeBron, people that go in, the people surrounding him, they're not going to see it like that. They're going to see it as, he always talks about his legacy. And these people want him to have all the rings, to have all the stats. They want him to have it all at the end. And I think even if he's smart enough to say no, the pressure going to be too much. They're going to pressure him to go, whether it is try to recruit people to LA or it is to go jump. He going to try to. He need at least 5.
They're going to set him up for a downfall, bro.
But his legacy is solidified. You don't need to do nothing else. Like, what are you doing?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, you chasing Jordan, don't do nothing for your legacy. It's solidified. It's etched in stone already. You're on the Mount Rushmore. There's nothing else for you to do, bro. Like. Just hang it up. I get it. You want to play with your son. That's a beautiful thing. I'm not mad at that. But
Retire, take 2 years
Coach
off,
your son.
and come back.
coach, yeah, coach.
You could
Coach
coach him, or what I'm saying is retire, take 2 years off, and come back to the NBA. You mean to tell me in 2-3 years nobody will be willing to sign you? Somebody will still sign you as a publicity stunt to fill in seats and shit like that. Like, do something like that. Take 2 years off, get your body back in some sort of shape, and you know, get a role that you're not trying to do too much, and play that 1 year where you mentoring your son and you playing with your son. But for you to think that you're gonna stay another 3-4 years in the league, I don't know how old this son is, 16, you know, 15,
I'm not sure.
somewhere around there. Like, if you really think you got another 4 years, you think you got 4 years, you think you're gonna be playing till you're 40, like, you bugging. 23 years in the league, it's not happening, bro. It's not gonna happen.
So to wrap it all up, I think we all got Phoenix in 6.
Yeah, if AD don't come back, yeah.
Yeah, I got
Phoenix in 6.
Phoenix in 6 if he don't come back.
So the first game, we saved this to talk about last, just because there's a little extra added to it. The first game tonight, 7:30 on TNT, is the Celtics and Nets. I don't know what Brooklyn was doing losing that game. They must have just took the day off. So they had one loss in the playoffs, which is one less than what we got them losing total. But they finished this game tonight, right? They finished the series tonight.
Yeah. This series is over.
I don't see it coming back to Brooklyn.
Kyrie had too much on his mind. Game 3, he was thinking about other things other than basketball. That's why they lost. His head wasn't really there, and now that that's out of the way and clear and gone, he ain't got to worry about nothing in Brooklyn. They finished this series off tonight, and I still got them losing only 2 games.
So does this say that if they got 2, they only losing 1 game in the finals? So the rest of the playoffs is sweeping?
I feel they're going to lose 1 game to Milwaukee, and then
they'll probably sweep whoever.
Yeah, they're going to sweep Philly because Philly doesn't have what it takes to keep up with them. And then they're going to get to the finals, and I don't know. It all depends on who they play. I would look at it right now as the best bet would be the Clippers. If they play anyone other than the Clippers, they're going to sweep them. They're going to sweep them, guys. The Clippers has the best chance of beating them a few games in the finals. But if they play Utah, Phoenix, if the Lakers just so happen to get there, Denver, Portland, like they're gonna sweep those guys. So Clippers is the best chance of beating the Nets a few games in the finals. But other than that, they're gonna sweep those guys.
So the biggest takeaway of the last game is what everybody's talking about now. Kyrie supposedly stomping on the logo.
No, he didn't supposedly. He did it. He did
right.
it. Like, we're not going to deny what he did. What I'm going to say is that does not justify a fan throwing a bottle at him.
No.
Whether it's plastic, whatever. It does not I don't give a fuck if he squatted and took a shit on that logo. It does not justify a fan to throw anything at him. So
no.
That's all I'm gonna say.
And then I mean the fan is one thing. Then you got these fake tough guys like KG and Big Baby Davis talking all this shit about this bullshit ass logo. I made the post somebody mentioned Juju Smith-Schroeder, whatever the fuck his bitch ass name is, when he stomped on the Bengals logo, was dancing on our logo. Our team stepped up, lit his bitch ass up, and shut him down. When T.O. did it in Dallas, the team, they stepped up. Maybe it was an illegal hit when he did it, whatever. But where are the players from the Celtics at? No one has spoken up. No one has said anything about it. you feel like this team of Boston Celtics doesn't feel that Celtic pride from the past, and I think that's one of the biggest things that's hurting them as a team. I think this shows a lot of the character of a lot of these dudes, and I don't think a lot of these dudes is in that city for the long run because of these fans.
Their fans are idiots. There's no other way around it. They're idiots.
Those fans are a lot of things.
I mean, come on. We know what Boston is known for. We're not gonna tap dance around it. Boston is known for being a racist city. Before we were born, before Kyrie was born, they've been a racist city. Maybe Massachusetts for the whole state's probably just full of racists. I don't know, but I do know Boston is one racist city. This isn't the first incident in Boston that has happened.
Right.
What's the one?
And that's what I'm saying is, are the players starting to see that, and now they don't have that same pride for the city, playing for that city, whereas maybe the older cats were willing to overlook it. I mean, what do you think the difference is?
They've been seeing it, and what happens is now it's becoming more blatant. Like, that's the whole America in a nutshell. America's been racist. It's just now starting to come more into the front court because
now you got the camera in their face.
Right.
Everybody recording.
I honestly believe it's accountability, since nobody's being held accountable and nobody's really getting in trouble for what they do. That's the problem. Draymond Green said it last night. Just because you get arrested don't mean you're doing jail time. Like, arrested don't mean nothing. You could put cuffs on me, take me to the precinct, and I'm going home in 2 hours. Like, that don't mean nothing. All you did was hold me for 2 hours and prevented me from getting a drink as fast as I wanted to. But other than that, there's no accountability in nothing. Like, you got young kids talking how they want to adults, disrespectful, getting away with it. You got just about everybody in this world. You got the police with the police brutality, getting away with it, blatantly doing it in your face and getting away with it. You got these fans now starting to do what they do, getting away with it, coming to the forefront because there's no accountability. Nobody's being held accountable. You're not really coming out your pockets. You're not really doing jail time. You're not getting beat up with what you used to back in the days. That's what used to happen to you. You would somebody would be waiting for you at the end of the game in the arena, ready to pound on you. And that's not happening nowadays. You're getting away with it. So I don't see that things are changed or things are getting worse. It's just, since there's no accountability, there's no consequences. What am I afraid of? Why should I be afraid to not do it?
I think the NBA should take that approach, the one apple spoils the whole bunch approach. And what I mean by that is if I'm a fan and I decide to do something stupid continuously, I'm a fan, I do something stupid. Joe, you go out the next night, you do something stupid. Joseph, you go out the next night, you do something stupid. All at the same arena, same team. This one apple spoils the whole bunch mentality should be put in full effect as, you know what? We're not allowing no fans in this arena no more. No one's gonna play. No fans, no nothing. We're gonna treat it like a bubble now.
I said that. I said, to be honest, I'm a conspiracy theorist, and I'm like, deep down inside, I kind of feel like they're the ones doing this. They are allowing or telling a fan to do this dumb shit so they can have the no fans in, because in all actuality, people may think they lose money, but in actuality, they gain money because they could raise prices for these virtual seats that they were doing in the bubble that cost an arm and a leg 10 times more than what a seat may cost, and they could raise prices on the season packages and the season pass, and now season ticket holders, instead of you going to the game, you buy your ticket to sit at home now. Like I said it, they might be doing this on purpose, but again, it's just dead wrong, man. It's dead wrong.
I think that's the best approach. You know what I mean? You guys don't know how to act, so now there's no fans allowed in this arena.
Yeah, I mean, they've proven there can still be good basketball with no fans. I mean, the bubble had some good games. This season overall with, there's some good, it's not like this season was a dud. There was some really good games with no fans. So they've proven that it can be done. Whether or not they do that, I don't know. It's just getting out of hand. It's been a little more quiet than all the other ones. It just came about that in New York, Emmanuel quickly got a beer thrown at him, and he's on the home squad. So they had to review it. They banned that fan. He's done for life. But it's like, if you're not even respecting the home team, what is it you're doing? Like,
and here's my thing.
There's no respect anymore.
You a season ticket holder. Now, me personally, I don't know how much that might cost.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure
a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. So you mean to tell me you spend a lot of money to get these tickets and you're willing to just risk it and throw it all away to throw a beer or some popcorn or whatever you're doing? Like, I don't get that. The guy that spit on Trae Young, he was sitting behind 50 Cent. They said his seats costed about $10,000 to $12,000 for that.
Easy.
Seat. You're willing to risk all of it. It just doesn't add up to me that a person that spends that kind of money is willing to just throw it all away, just for this one little incident. I just don't get it.
Unless they have the money to throw away.
Yeah, but even if you have,
if you're sitting next to 50 Cent, I'm pretty sure you're rich, or
right,
or behind him or whatever.
But what I'm saying is, even if you have the money for that, the whole joy is to continue. You don't want to just do this. Like, you mean to tell me you got that much money that you like, fuck it, I don't care if I get banned. I'll just go to another arena. Like, nah, dude, like, your whole joy is to sit here and rub elbows with these famous people. Tonight it could be 50 Cent. Tomorrow it could be Jay-Z. Like, the next day it could be Puff. Like, I don't want to risk what I got here. I got a good thing going. That's like, you get a job, you get the job of your dreams, you making tens of thousands of dollars a week, hundreds of $1,000s a year, and you risk it all for some sexual harassment shit. Like, who does that? Like, it just doesn't add up to me.
I don't know, but I think. Oh, go ahead, Joseph.
I was just gonna say, I think I didn't read fully into it. Didn't somebody else like run on the court last night too? They had to get tackled by security.
Philly, in Washington, the Washington-Philly game.
This was my next point. God forbid one of these dudes who don't, have nothing to gain, don't care about life, run up on the court and decide, maybe I'm gonna take someone's life tonight because I don't care.
I mean, that's this is what I'm saying. Like, that's the fear and the image they want to instill, so that way when they say, okay, no fans, we okay with that. We cool with me personally. I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with sports being played in the arena, stadium, whatever, without fans. It's stupid. This is why you have 40,000 seats, 20,000 seats, so these people can enjoy. You mean to tell me you went 50, 60 years without incidents, and you have 3-4 of them in less than a week? Like, some just don't add up to me, man. Like, it just doesn't seem right. It don't seem real to me. It seems like these are well strategic placed incidents. The guy last night in Washington, he was tackled by one guard. Like, how much security be at these games to prevent that from happening? It'd be tons of security that's there supposed to prevent that from happening. Yet he was able to manage to get past security, get on the court, and get tackled by one. Like, look at the footage. The way he got tackled just seemed phony. When he got up, he raised his hand. He was able to wave. And, like, it just seems so far-fetched to me that these things are happening real and it's just a coincidence. Like, I don't know. That's just the conspiracy guy in me. Like, something ain't right.
I get it.
And when they come to this conclusion of, well, we're going to shut it down. There's no fans. We're not going to have fans in the arena. You see what happens when we let them back in. Like, that's just corny to me. Like, yeah, we had some good games. this year, and I believe it was due to us being kind of used to, the bubble, and it was different. It wasn't the same as last year. These teams were still playing in a home. They were still traveling, and we were able to go out. So we were able to go to bars and catch it, or go to a restaurant and watch it, and be at our friend's house and watch it. So the atmosphere was kind of different. And then they allowed little by little fans to come in or whatever. And you ain't had no incidents the whole season. And now all of a sudden the playoffs start. You want to get this going. Like, I just don't get it, man. I just don't see it. And on top of that, you ain't having nothing in no other sport. Football went the whole year with no issues.
I was just about to say that.
Baseball, you may have your occasional streaker, but we've been having that forever. Like, that's a big
for the longest.
Yeah, for the longest in baseball. So if that happens in baseball, it's nothing new. You know what I'm saying? But even still, baseball ain't shutting nothing down. It just seemed like the NBA is where it's at. Like, they want to do this in the NBA. I just don't get it, and I don't like it.
I guess because you're right there. You know what I mean? Like, it's in arm distance. The court is really in arm distance, depending on where you're sitting, of course. Compared to football, you're not as close to the field. Baseball, you're not as close to the field as you are basketball and the court. So I kind of get it. But I think the NBA has to figure out what the problem is and come to a solution pretty fast, because you got to protect these players, man. Because if one of us run on the court and hit one of these players and the players defend themselves, that player still might get fined and suspended, and that's not right.
And sued. He could get
sued.
Yeah,
I doubt that he would win, but
I mean, one of my changes would be, and I know everybody might not like it, but I always said they should stop serving alcohol at these arenas. Like, kill the alcohol, man. No alcohol. Like, you want alcohol, you drink that shit before the game, or you drink that shit after the game. As far as getting alcohol in these arenas, man, they need to stop that. They need to stop serving beer. And even in certain basketball arenas, you're able to get liquor, hard liquor, strong liquor, cocktails, and all that shit.
Barclay is one of them.
Yeah. So I feel they need to cut that, man. Cut that out, because these people get drunk and get a few drinks in them and don't know how to act. So that'll be one of my things that I would do to try to limit this. And I'm not saying it'll kill it and it'll stop it, but hey, if that's a start, man, I'm pretty sure you being sober, you ain't doing that shit. And I guarantee you, if you was to do a breathalyzer on all these guys that's done this dumb shit over the last week, they were probably all drunk. You know what I'm saying? So I would say eliminate alcohol or limit it.
Yeah, that all sounds good, but at the end of the day, it's all about the money. And they make too much money from that alcohol. They make too much money from drunk people spending money on the overpriced shit at the arenas. The overpriced jerseys, the ball, the this, the that. Atlanta, they redid their whole stadium, and it's pretty much like a club. They got a barbershop in there. They got, fine dining. You can have like a real, classy meal with a view of the game, serving, like you said, hard liquor. You can buy as beer at every single spot. Now, I will give credit, Atlanta Falcons' new stadium. I don't know if they're still doing it, but the first year they were open, they had like a little designated driver wristband. If you said you was a designated driver, they gave you a wristband, and you drank, obviously, non-alcoholic beverages as much as you wanted for free. You had a special little cup. You could drink as much Coke, Sprite, whatever. As long as it was non-alcoholic, it was all free as long as you had that little wristband on. They need to start doing things like that to try to maybe dissuade people from drinking as much, or dissuade people from not drinking at all. And maybe you have some less issues. But it's going to be difficult to really put a handle on this unless, like we said, unless there's real consequences on the line for these people. People who spend that kind of money, you already know that they're going to feel privileged, entitled to do what they want to do, say what they want to say. So, as long as there's still people out there like that, we still won't have incidents like this. Let's move on from this because we still want to at least predict the games for tomorrow, and it's already 7:00. So let's just do it real quick. There's 4 games tomorrow. Wizards, Philly, 3-1. Embiid is a question mark. I think he's gonna be out though.
Play. He's not gonna play tomorrow.
So who we got winning tomorrow?
I'm taking Philly.
I'm gonna take the Wizards. I think they came up with a nice game plan at the end of the game to force Ben Simmons to score and force Ben Simmons to do something. And I don't think Ben Simmons has it in him. So I got Washington in a close game. And if Embiid decides that if Embiid can't go for the rest of the series, then Philly could be in some sort of trouble.
Yeah, I'm going Philly tomorrow. I think Tobias Harris comes up with a big game tomorrow, and they seal it up. Next game, the Hawks and Knicks. It's back in New York. It's do or die for the Knicks. What y'all got?
I think the Knicks die.
Yeah, they haven't shown anything at all. Like they don't look like they even want to be there. They look like we were happy to get there, and that's it.
See, this is why I didn't like the celebration. Remember the game they won? They celebrated like the way they did, and I was like, "It's not cool." And you was like, "You see nothing wrong with that."
I still don't. I'll let you finish, but I still don't. Go ahead.
This is what's wrong with it. This is what's wrong with it. You celebrated for nothing. Y'all didn't do anything. Winning one game, unless this is what y'all wanted. Y'all only wanted to win one game. I assume you wanted to get past Atlanta. I assume you wanted to get as far as you can get. Since they celebrated that one win, they haven't even come close to winning again. So you saved that celebration for afterwards.
Yep.
And that's where they messed up at. They shouldn't have celebrated like they won a title because they was nowhere near it. And it killed them. And it took a lot of momentum and out of them. The Knicks fans as well as Knicks players felt too much relief because it's like we did it. You guys ain't do nothing. Winning one game was not the goal, and looking this bad was not the goal. So I think the Knicks achieved what they wanted, which was to be a playoff team, possibly win a playoff game. And now that they've done that, their season is over.
So, I partially agree with some of the things you're saying. Here's why I don't agree that celebrating was necessarily a bad thing. Like we said when the podcast began, nobody had us being in the situation we're in. No one had us in the playoffs.
You're using that. You're here.
No. Let me finish though. Let me finish though. So you have a year where this was supposed to be the beginning of the rebuild. It went better than expected, and I don't think when you finally get that first playoff win after it's been it's been 8 years. 2013. It was relief. Now, was I, on my jumping up and down on my couch? Nah, I was watching the game with 2 Hawks fans, and I barely said a word after we won. I wasn't, necessarily part of the major celebration. I was happy my team won. I knew there's more to do, but I think if it ends tomorrow, I'm still happy because we weren't supposed to be here. We achieved more than we were supposed to, and we are now looked at as a competent organization again.
But you guys
we have pieces in. You said what?
You guys were also picked to beat Atlanta. No one that I know had Atlanta winning this series. Everyone had the Knicks. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I had the Knicks winning this series.
Majority of the ESPN and everyone else had Knicks.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
So winning that one game, I get what you're saying because it's been a while since you guys have been to the playoffs. So I understand winning the game, it might mean something maybe next season.
Yeah,
You
it's a
that.
building. It's a
I
stepping
get
stone.
that.
It's a building block to get to that next step. Because now, okay, you see this team that we have put together. Yeah, it's not a team that's going to win a championship, but we made the playoffs. So now other players, these disgruntled players with these teams that are underachieving rather than overachieving, like we have up to this point, are looking at us like, okay, now if I join this squad, then I might be that piece that gets us to that next level. So for me, it's still about the future. For me, it's not about right now. It's about what is next. Because regardless of what we did this series, we not winning the next round. Whoever we face,
You never know.
Just
You
like-
never know.
You never know. Let's just say MB don't make it out of the series, and Washington was to somehow get past Philly, and y'all play Washington. You mean to tell me you don't have what it takes to beat Washington?
yeah,
So this is what I'm
I mean,
saying. This is why you said it as to the reason. Like, you guys wasn't supposed to be here. All right, that's fine. But that's no longer an excuse now that you are here. You are here now. You are in the dance. Therefore, you have no reason to celebrate because the goal hasn't been met yet. You are in the
Right.
first round. People expected y'all to win this series. And the Knicks expected to win this series. The Knicks team came in looking to win this series. They did not look at it like, all right, we here. We wasn't supposed to be here. So you know what? Fuck it. Whatever happens, happens. No, they went into this series with the confidence of, we could beat this Atlanta team and get to the next round. So it's like, it's a stepping stone, but it's kind of like goals. You set new goals every day. All right, the goal was to us finish over 500. We did that. The goal was to get to the playoffs. We did that. Now the goal is to beat Atlanta. That's our goal now. We need to beat Atlanta.
And where's Julius Randle? Anybody seen him?
I mean, he chilling with R.J. Barrett somewhere. And neither one of them playing. Like, it's a shame that Derrick Rose is the only one on that team that really wants to win. Like, it's not, his goal wasn't to just get to the playoffs and roll over. Like, nah, he's like, yo, fuck that. We got a chance to really do something, man, and we really need to do it.
Game 1, Randle shot 6 for 23. Game 2, 5 for 16. Game 3,
27%.
2 for 15. And then game 4, 7 for 19. And I said this before, Randle's a great player, but he's not the player. You don't need the player.
27% from the field so far in these playoffs. His scoring average has went from 25 in the regular season to 17 in the playoffs.
And
he hasn't stepped up. I mean, that when you boil it all down to everything, that is the main factor. He has not stepped up, and
neither has RJ.
Yeah, but RJ's not the man right now. He's the man.
He's quote unquote.
He's what we got right now. He's our number one option right now. And
to me, it look like D Rose is the number one option in these games.
Yeah, and y'all gonna burn him out. Like, they're gonna burn him out. I think the Knicks need to go out there and clear their head. I mean, it's not over yet. You go out there, you play your game. Randle is not playing his game. He's being forced, and not even forced, but he's forcing himself to play Atlanta's game and to play the way Atlanta wants him to play. And RJ is simply just cold. He be wide open, missing wide open jumpers, missing wide open. I seen him miss a layup, a couple of layups. Him and Randle miss layups, and I'm like, that's a mental thing. Like, you're thinking too much, you're thinking too hard instead of just going out there playing good. Same thing for Bullock. He made a couple of comments after game 2, and he hasn't shown up games 3 and 4. So it's just the whole team collectively They need to think about the team that they are. They're giving up a lot more points than what they was in the regular season. The defense isn't as tight as it used to be. And at some points, it seemed like Atlanta got 8 to 9 guys on the court at the same time, and the Knicks just don't know who to guard.
Trae Young is out there making it look so easy. So easy.
And it's like, I think the Knicks should look at it like, you know what? You want to go for 30, young man? Go for 30. I'll be damned if I let these guys around you score 15 to 20 points each, because the Knicks are not just getting killed by Trae. They're getting killed by Gallinari. They're getting killed by Collins. They're getting killed by Bogdanovich. They're getting killed by Capella. They're getting killed by the Atlanta Hawks collectively. It's not just Trae Young killing them. So that plus shooting yourself in the foot, you ain't making it far.
See, you jinxed it the other day, Joseph, because you made a comment about Collins. You said Atlanta don't know the system for him and he looks lost. Since you said that, I think he's been averaging about 18. So he need to write you.
That's all well and good. That's still not enough for him.
I mean,
that's still not enough for him. 18 a game, not gonna get it done in the second round.
I don't know. It might.
Listen, they not focused on the second round. They focused on getting rid of the Knicks now. That's the way the plan goes. You do that. You get rid of what's in front of you first before dealing with the next round. They don't know if they're going to play Philly or Washington. So they saying, you know what? We good. The only good thing about Atlanta is they got excellent big men. So if they were to play Philly, they got big men that can help and contain Joel Embiid to a certain extent to make everyone around him have to win the game. So I don't think Atlanta is worried about the next round. You'd be surprised that if they play Philly or Washington, they fuck around and might be able to get past both of them. You never know.
Well, we'll see. I mean, it's obvious to say, the next game's a big game. Capella came out today talking a lot of shit. Said they sending the Knicks on vacation and all, blah, blah, blah. I think the way that Randall and D Rose responded was a good way to respond. They said the right things. Let's just hope they come to play, and they win that game. Who knows what could happen from there?
Yeah,
so it's not over, but things have to change from the past two games on both ends of the court.
And the good thing is Capella waited till they were up 3-1 to talk this shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly.
Atlanta has 3 chances to send the Knicks on vacation.
And if they don't, Atlanta should trade Capella for opening his mouth.
I agree.
Well, it's not just Capella. I mean, Trae Young been talking shit the whole series.
Been busting your ass. I can't be mad.
He's producing.
Yeah. I'm just saying in general, is Capella not the only one talking shit? And don't get me wrong, I'm not mad at the shit talking. When I played, 99% of my game was shit talking. I was trying to get in your head mentally. So I don't have no problem with the shit talking. I'm just saying sometimes it could come back to bite you. Who knows?
You got to back it up.
One game at a time. So
as your game could back it up, then I don't mind the shit talking.
Yeah, that's why I love what Derrick Rose said. Derrick Rose said, I ain't talk shit my whole career. I'm not about to start talking to Clint Capella.
That's right. That's how you do things.
And that's why I love D Rose. So let's move on to the next game because it's already almost 7:30. Let's get the people to the games. Grizzlies at Jazz is 3-1. It's over for Memphis, right?
Yeah, I made a boo-boo. I thought Memphis would put up a better fight.
We told you.
Yeah, we told you.
And you know what's funny is they've been trying to keep it close every game. Last night they were down by like 3 with a couple of minutes left, and then Utah just went on like an 8-0 run to push the lead back up to 11, and it just it just hurt them, So I just feel that's it for Memphis. Memphis gave it all they could, and they realized they can't hang with these guys. So yeah, Utah closes this out.
So let's wrap that one up quick, because I want to spend at least a couple minutes on this last game, because as bad as the Clippers looked those first 2 games, they've looked the complete opposite the last two games. So, I said the other matchup between Denver and Portland was the best series. This is definitely the second best series. Luka Doncic looked like a completely different player. Who y'all got tomorrow?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
What happened?
I think the Clippers got them figured out.
The Clippers is literally the Jekyll and Hyde team of the NBA.
It's crazy.
One night they're impossible to beat, and then the next night they lose by 60. I don't get it. I don't get it. But what did I say though? You give Rondo more minutes, what happens?
You know what? It could be. Maybe the Clippers just feel like things are too easy, and they come out feeling like, "Yo, this shit is too easy for us."
And look
They
what happened.
underestimated Dallas.
Yeah.
Look what happened to them last year with Denver. They did the same
But
thing.
I don't think they're gonna do that this time.
That is what killed that early 2000s Pistons team after they won that first championship. They used to just underestimate teams and kind of like not, just turn it off and turn it on. That's not a way to win championships.
Nah, and I think the Clippers are learning, and I blame Ty Lue a little bit. He's not the greatest coach out there.
He is an god awful coach, if you ask
Don't
me.
even know why he has a job.
I don't know either, but
LeBron James is why he ever had a job.
yeah, he's a terrible coach, and they're learning to like handle things on their own and not really let him take control of it, because even his switches and his matchups are iffy. Like, there was an issue with Doncic, how Kawhi wanted to guard him, but Ty Lue felt Paul George would be better, and they were doing the pick and roll. And
Listen, real quick, in no situation is Paul George better than Kawhi Leonard. In no situation.
Nah, I agree. But
So do you think they should put Kawhi on Doncic and take away some of Kawhi's offense?
Here's the thing. The thing that the Clippers figured out, the issue was really Zubac. It wasn't Doncic, it wasn't Kawhi, and it wasn't Paul George. They took Zubac out of the starting lineup and put Batum in, because KP is not gonna bang down low. KP is not a back to the basket center. He's a guy that want to stay in the perimeter and shoot. So with Batum, now that pick and roll doesn't work, and that switch doesn't work. When you had because what's gonna happen, it doesn't matter if it's Paul George or Kawhi. I'm gonna call for a pick and get a switch, and now once we switch, the guy that got me now, that's who I'm gonna kill. So the Clippers figured that out to where they don't have a weakling. So now when they do the switch, you either got Batum guarding you, Morris guarding you, Kawhi guarding you, or Paul George guarding you, and they can all guard you. So that's what's been making things harder for Luka over the last two games.
Can they figure it out tonight?
Who, Dallas? It all depends on the surrounding parts. Like if Hardaway Jr. can knock down shots, if KP can get his shit together and not put up a stinker, then they can make it a little challenging. But I just think the Clippers got it figured out, and I don't think they're able to like get dumbed down now. Like I think they
this game is in LA.
Yeah, I think they got it. They know it. It's like, yo, we know what we're doing now. We got this figured out. I don't think Zubac is gonna go back to the starting lineup. Ty Lue is not gonna make that mistake. So Batum will be starting. They'll start small and
go from there pretty much.
Yeah, and go from there. Because what happens is Dallas was jumping out to a big lead in the first quarter. They were up 8-0, 10-0, 12. It was up like 20-4 at one point. So that's what was happening. And once they figured it out, like, yo, it's Zubac. Zubac is too big. He too slow.
Too slow.
He too flat-footed, and he's killing us. Luka's killing him. Like, we get the switch. Luka hit him with a couple of hezzies and head fakes and dribbles, and that's what's killing them. So they figured that out. They got Zubac out of there, and they put Batum in. And ever since they put Batum in, they've outscored Dallas. They outscored Dallas by like 65 points over the last like 2 games or something like that. So I think the Clippers figured it out. They'll finish this series off.
So we got LA tonight.
Yeah, I got LA tonight.
I got LA next too.
Yeah,
Cool.
Same here. I got LA the next 2.
So I don't think do we all pick our winners for that Knicks Hawks game?
I went Hawks. I just don't see the Knicks doing anything different. You know, I don't. Patrick Ewing isn't walking through that door, so.
I mean, it's all about their offense. If they offense, they're at home, so it's like you need some home loving, you need some home cooking, man. At least go out with a fight. You know, don't go out there.
I don't want.
Building houses. Don't try to build another arena. Like, you go out there, you play with your heart, man. You put up a fight, and if y'all lose, y'all lose. You know, listen. I always go for the underdog. I'm gonna go with the Knicks, and I'm hoping they put up a better fight tonight, man. They can't go out like this.
Right. I'm gonna take the Knicks. Obviously, I'm taking it.
Oh my gosh! I just think, unfortunately, Randall ran into a good team, because Collins is fast enough, agile enough, lanky enough to stay in front. And if Randall do happen to blow by, who's in the paint waiting for him? Capella. So I think it's a bad matchup for Randall.
I mean, he killed them in the regular season, even though the regular season is not.
It's totally different.
But it's like, I look at it like, I don't expect you to have the same success. I expect you to at least have the same efforts, though. Like,
yeah, you got to adapt.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I think he shouldn't look this bad. I just think he's looking this bad because he's trying different things and trying to do something different. And now is not the time to do that. Stick to your game, play your game. The Knicks are shooting way more threes in this series than they have all year. They wasn't really a 3-point shooting team. Now all of a sudden they want to shoot 30, 40 threes a game. And
well, they have to, because that whole Hawks team is full of shooters.
Yeah, but see, again, the 3 is good if you are making them. If you're not making them, it's just a dead possession. So I'd rather match you with 2. You're not going to make every 3-pointer. You know what I'm saying? Even if you make 30 to 40% of your threes, if I'm making 60 to 70% of my 2s, then, you know, we got a battle going on here. Since the Knicks' strength is not 3-point shooting, stick to what you're strong at, stick to what you do best, and play defense. And I think if they do those, the Knicks will win. If not, then you might as well, it's a wrap. Wrap it up.
And what happened to that rookie of the year you was talking about quickly? What happened to that guy?
He disappeared quickly.
Quickly, exactly.
Hey, he's still playing minutes in the playoffs, though. Y'all boys still sitting home. He's still sitting home.
Wait, who was better than Joe Harris? Was it Barrett or was it Quickly or was it both? You know what?
I never said Quickly was better than Joe Harris. I never said that.
He did say Barrett was.
And I stand by that. And I stand by it.
Somebody pull up. Now, you know what? We ain't got enough time.
You know what? In 30 years, and we won't need that time. In 10 years, when we still doing this podcast and be rich and famous, and both of these dudes' careers is over, and no one remembers Joe Harris and RJ Barrett's a Hall of Famer, we'll talk.
Oh, we must be talking about in 2K.
Well, I can tell you one thing.
2K is real life, bro.
I don't know what's going to happen in 10 years, but I just know by the end of this year, Joe Harris will have a shiny ring and Barrett won't.
That will be earned by 3 other dudes.
It don't matter.
But Joe Harris plays his part, though. Joe Harris is giving them that 15, 16 points that the Knicks do.
We'll talk about Joe Harris on Thursday. We got to get out of here. Once again, this has been Shoot Your Shot, the podcast. We're going to be out of here. We'll see y'all Thursday.
2 fat guys and a baby. Coming
Two black
Thursday.
guys and a baby coming Thursday.
And
Hi.
we gonna have some other shit going on real soon too. We're gonna let y'all know about.
That's right. That's right. Y'all
Peace.
stay tuned, y'all. Peace.
Peace. Say bye. Bye. Bye.